season's greetings to you all and welcome to the INEOS 2020 review. Now this has been an unprecedented year for all of us and we've seen a lot of things change. Sorry, I was on mute. Through to the way we dress and even the way we talk.
Social distancing, hand sanitizer, social, working from home.
For many companies, that meant reinventing, taking a step back and weathering the storm. But that's not how INEOS does things. Across the INEOS Group, you have gone above and beyond during this extraordinary year, from keeping the plants running to delivering sanitizer to hospitals all over the world. It's because of you that we've been able to grow and succeed. We kicked off the year with a new investment to build a world-scale ABS plant in China. And then in June, we announced that we were buying BP's petrochemical business, bringing 1,700 new people into INEOS. And we finished the year by announcing the birth of a new hydrogen business. Most exciting though has been our commitment to sustainability through finding new ways to recycle plastic products and using renewable energy. And this has brought about some real world firsts. We signed deals to reduce emissions by using bio feedstocks supplied by UPM from renewable forests. And we worked with Forever Plast to recycle 6.5 billion bottle caps. We continue to expand our recycling range of products using 60% recycled material. To cap it off, we signed the biggest wind power deal in Belgian history with ENGIE, which will lead to a reduction of almost 1 million tonnes of CO2. But we haven't stopped there. We signed a further deal in December with RWE, which will take the total to almost 2 million tonnes. All of this means that sites like Antwerp will stay ahead of European Union net zero carbon reduction targets. We could talk about this all day, but we've got lots more to cover. INEOS is such a massive company and we continue to grow so fast that I have to keep a list and I check it twice. We're now making cars and stylish clothes, and this year saw the launch of a whole new business around the must-have essential, alcohol, sanitizer that is. Born out of a need to help our hospitals, we used our expertise to produce hospital-grade hand sanitizer, and since then it's gone from strength to strength with its very own TV commercial and a stylish range of dispensers.
It's been an incredible year across INEOS, especially how our people have responded to COVID-19. We're a new player in the established hygiene market, a challenger brand, but INEOS likes a challenge. We've got a growing line of new products like sprays and wipes with a lot more to come. This is the first time the INEOS name has appeared as a consumer brand and we've got off to a great start. Supply to the public wasn't something we had planned. But earlier this year, we responded to the serious lack of availability of antibacterial products. Within 10 days, we'd built bottling plants and were delivering millions of units of hand sanitizer to thousands of hospitals across Europe and the US. And as sports returned to competition, we protected our elite teams. And now, 6 months later on, we're offering that same protection to consumers.
In the automotive world, we unveiled the design of our brand new 4x4, the Grenadier, tough enough to weather any terrain, and we even found a new home to make it.
2020, we've seen growing the Grenadier family, growing the team, bringing suppliers on board, maturing our product, getting the design out there, taking you with us on the journey, and starting now our prototype program and rigorous testing that we're undergoing. And you will see more of this in 2021. 2021 will be a big and exciting year. We will kick off the year with finally revealing our interior. I hope that everybody will like that and is looking forward to this. We are also out there testing, of course. We will have our prototypes on the roads across the world and off-road across the world. Also in 2021, you will see us supporting our great sporting teams and our great sporting activities. And then, of course, towards the end of 2021, we will be taking into production the INEOS Grenadier at our site in Mercedes-Benz plant in Hambach.
Belstaff went from strength to strength, launching a second series of its successful podcast, The Road Less Travelled, and opened a brand new store in New York City.
Well, I think like all retail businesses, it's been a really, really tough year, not just in terms of store closures and, footfall in streets, but also the team here, they're trying to run what is a very creative, fashion, sort of visual business when people can't see each other. So I've only been here for 3 months, but the great thing about the people that I've learned at Belstaff is they're all incredibly resilient, they're all really motivated, they've gone through what's been a really big challenge and, a huge amount of change in this business. 2020 feels like the most INEOS year ever, like completely bonkers. Surprises everywhere, challenges you didn't think would be possible to face, but that's what I love about working here. It's never a dull day, and you never quite know what's coming around the corner, but it's always something exciting and fun. I think the exciting opportunity for 2021 for Belstaff is that we can kind of reset the brand. It is a phenomenal heritage brand, but we've also got some incredible future-focused pieces. We've got a wonderful collection coming for Spring/Summer 21 and Autumn/Winter 21, and some really, really exciting products that I think speak to the heart of the brand. I think we're going to really look at aligning ourselves to the other INEOS consumer brands. We're going out to market in the same way and becoming a real INEOS forward-facing brand.
As you know, sport is a pretty big thing in INEOS. Cycling, football, sailing, and now we've got Formula One with our deal with Mercedes. So let's get the inside scoop from the people who really know about it.
It's been just remarkable to think what we've achieved. I don't think any of us expected a year like this, and to be able to deliver under the circumstances with what's been going on around the world and deliver at the level we've been able to deliver. I think it's just overall been overwhelming, and I'm really proud of the team and what we've achieved. Real pinnacle of the year would be Turkey. It was the hardest race psychologically and technically than I think of probably any race that we had all probably faced, and so to come through it unscathed and as strong as we did, and with the implications of what that race meant as well, I think it was, probably the highlight.
Lewis's achievements make him being part of the best sports stars that have ever existed. He has won 7 consecutive titles, which is like Michael Schumacher in the past, more race wins and more pole positions than any other driver. Formula One is who he is, and I think there is much more to achieve together. COVID-19 caught us from nowhere. It obliged us to work differently. Races give us structure. We know we go to 20 odd races. We are there from Thursday until Sunday. You're coming back, you're in the factory. And all of that was suddenly in shambles. And then of course the World Championship was compressed into 6 months, very intense for the team, triple headers, which are tremendously difficult because you're away from the family. But in a way, it just makes us stronger for the future. There's a reason why not many sports teams in the world have achieved consecutive world championships. And I believe that with 7 in a row, we are probably the only one. And we've been really able to keep the group together. And probably most important, we've set the right objectives every single year. And once you align everybody behind such an objective, you become a powerful force.
The America's Cup is just around the corner, and the team have been hard at work preparing for the final lap of this mammoth challenge.
Yeah, we had to adapt the team. I was pleased with the way the team were able to make changes and change the strategy to fit that and maximise our time on the water. I think for the whole team, obviously the sailors, but the whole team, putting a lot of effort, a huge amount of effort into this campaign to actually get out there on the race course. That's where we want to be. That's ultimately what it's all about, to weigh ourselves up against our competitors. What's brought me joy this year, it's been a difficult year for everybody. So I think ultimately getting closer to the goal of racing in the America's Cup, getting our second boat launched, Britannia 2. It's a fantastic looking boat. Getting that on the water was a huge team effort. So I think we all took a lot of pride in that and excitement in the racing ahead. It's been a frustrating time for everybody. From a management perspective, having to make some pretty difficult decisions strategically in terms of where to base the team and how to alter our schedule to fit around the pandemic. You have to react. It's very hard to plan ahead in that scenario, and that's been a very interesting process to go through.
Football may have been deprived of fans this season, but our teams have powered through lockdown to enjoy success.
How have the teams done this year? It's probably easier for me to start with how did the teams close last season. And I think in terms of our overall football project, it was as good a year as we could have expected. In a normal business, you'd do ABC, you'd have a 90% certainty of outcome. It's not like that in football. So that's part of the challenge, part of the appeal of football. We got Nice with the frozen season into the Europa League, so we got it into Europe, and that was earlier than our plan. With Lausanne, with the new stadium opening in November, we got promotion to the Super League. That was pretty significant and pretty special to be part of that, after quite a difficult journey. And with our partner club, Racing Club Abidjan, we won the league there, and we got Africa Champions League football. So that's as good as it gets. 2021, I think, will be a very important year for us to sort of prove our concept that running these clubs together, that we can develop young players, we can give pathways to young players, that we can see success on a federal basis with the clubs. But the absence of fans is very significant. It's very significant economically to us. The real positive is we've continued to play, and we have a season there. And I think there's a big audience for football still. So that's a real positive out of a very difficult situation.
The INEOS Grenadiers had an exciting year as the team changed name and saw a young man from Hackney steal the show in Italy.
What I like about this team is there's a lot of there's new personalities. It's quite a young team. You know, they're at the start of their journeys, a lot of these guys, and you can feel that. We've had to modify quite dramatically, actually, what the way that we're operating to keep the team safe and ourselves safe, obviously, but also for the public and to be respectful of the societies where we travel through. So that's been a big undertaking. But the great thing about everybody's been resourceful and pragmatic, and everybody's pulling together. And hopefully we get this great event on the road and can entertain and do everything that sport's supposed to do. I guess one of the things about, running a team for a long time, trying to sustain success, is you have to reinvent yourself. And of course, we've been working with Jim and INEOS, and they're very ambitious, and they're full of ideas and projects and plans all the time. And we share the same values, and that's what we want to bring into the team.
Unbelievably, it's been over a year since Elliot smashed the 2-hour marathon barrier, and he's back training, ready to race again.
2020 has been hectic. There's been actually part here in sport in general, but personally I've been adapting on it. I've accepted and the love of change and accept what has been what the COVID-19 has changed the world. It was hard to believe that something can come in and kick out big games like Olympic Games. It was unbelievable that COVID can really move big things in the world and nobody can actually prevent. What has brought me joy in 2020 is I'm still able to run, I'm still able to watch sport, I'm still able to do any kind of sport, which is sport is always life. That's make my life interesting. It's really important to actually be among the INEOS sporting family, because sport actually is what drives the world.
More than ever, at this time of year, it's a time for giving. But all year round, INEOS is committed to supporting good causes, whether that's getting kids moving or protecting endangered species. But we're also part of many local communities, and during the pandemic, we gave our employees the chance to support local good causes around the world to try and bring a bit of relief.
We are in truly unprecedented times. We've never seen a year like 2020. We've been through global recessions, but never before a pandemic. And we knew from the outset that this was going to have a big impact on some of the most vulnerable people in our communities. The INEOS Community Fund was a £1 million pot created to help our sites and employees really support the most vulnerable people in their communities through lockdown. So we asked for our employees, some of whom actually volunteer in the community anyway, to keep an ear to the ground and tell us where the funds would be best spent, to a very wide range of causes. But the majority were to things like food banks, domestic violence shelters, homeless shelters, hospices, care homes, the organisations that were at the front line and were really seeing an increase in the pressure on their services. It's really important for INEOS to be a good neighbour where it operates, and our sites do have very strong relationships with their local communities. They live in the local communities, as do their families, and we want to be making sure that we're always giving back.
As the world dealt with COVID, there were still other causes in need of aid. The Atlantic salmon face extinction, and our team in Iceland remained committed to making sure that doesn't happen.
So how's 2020 gone for salmon conservation? I think the answer is it's gone pretty well actually, despite the pandemic. And in fact, although it's stopped us travelling and so on, it's turned out not to be the case that it's interrupted the project and the progress of the project. So for example, we've been able to tag salmon, and by tagging them in rivers equipped with antenna, understanding how the salmon are behaving in the river. We've been able to track salmon going out to sea. We've now, I think, formed a good team between Imperial College and Marine and Freshwater Research Institute in Iceland. And that's obviously really important for the project because we want to be working as a single team. We organised an international salmon conference to discuss the plight of the Atlantic salmon, the North Atlantic salmon. We've got a really good system in Iceland to study, relatively simple because of where it is. We can get learning there that can be applied more globally to understanding what's going on with the North Atlantic salmon population. For me, it's think like a fisherman, act like a salmon. And if we take that approach, then I think we'll get some great insights into how to improve the population of the North Atlantic salmon.
Our children's health has always been important, and the lockdown was tough on both their physical and mental well-being. So to combat this, schemes were launched to ensure children could stay fit and focused through it all.
2020 has been a challenge for everybody in my team, but I think we've actually made it a success despite all the various challenges that we've had, working from home, coming into work. INEOS Going for Fun has been a challenge because we had to postpone so many events. We launched the Daily Mile at home, again when children weren't able to do it at school, and we saw a massive increase in the number of people coming to our website. The 1851 Trust obviously have had their challenges with not being able to have their normal programme, going out to schools and sailing. And they've adapted by working with the 159 Challenge team, but also with the development of the INEOS Team UK boat and all the technical aspects of that. It's really helped the team put together some really good products for schools and working at home. The Energy Station initiative had a number of challenges. One was obviously we had to close a number of the gyms, and we created an online portfolio for people to do that at home. And that was a real success actually. So, we're a fun business, we like a challenge, we like working together, and I think that it's just proved by the success of all the initiatives and all the other businesses that are working alongside us as well.
Every year, I sit here and wonder what the next year is going to bring. But in INEOS, you can guarantee that it's going to be exciting. Thank you to all our employees around the world who have worked so tirelessly in this very difficult circumstance. Have a great holiday, stay safe, and we'll see you next year.